Long as I wake up in the morning, I'ma get a bag. Get a bag, yeah, I'ma get a bag. Long as I wake up in the morning, I'ma get a bag. Get a bag, yeah, I'ma get a bag. Long as I wake up in the morning, I'ma get a bag. Get a bag, yeah, I'ma get a bag. Long as I wake up in the morning, I'ma get a bag. Get a bag, yeah, I'ma get a bag.
Oh, yeah. Do I have one more minute?
No. No, you don't. Hey, what is up, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of Sports Bites for 2025. Sports Bites. We are your number one sports podcast, bringing you the best of both worlds, sports and snacks. Hope everybody's doing all right tonight, having a great night. I am super excited to be back. We're back in the saddle again, baby.
Yeah. Let's go.
I'm down.
It's been a minute since I've been here.
It has. It has. It feels longer than it has been, honestly. It's been less than a month, but damn, it feels like forever since we've been back in here.
Well, we got delayed with holidays and snow and ice in the area. So
life happens, man. Wow. Life happens. Well,
snowplow, man.
Tonight, to my right, got my brother Don Schro. What's going on, bro?
How you doing?
Not bad, not bad. How you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Good to be back in here.
Yes, sir.
Across the
Always
table.
Good.
Dr. Mike on the mic. Brent Turner, what's going on, my man?
What's up, brother?
Not much. What's up, brother? I like it. Way across the table, yet again, Robert Bialik. What's going on, Robert?
What's up?
Not much, man. I'm just happy to see you, bro.
Yeah.
Too long.
Absolutely. As always, we want to let everybody know that tonight we are coming to you live from beautiful Varsity Park Studios here at Varsity Park Franklin, Roanoke's newest innovative storage and business center. Check them out on Facebook or at varsityparkfranklin.com. And once again, as always, got to give a shout out to the fans. Everybody that's going to be here tonight, everybody checking in.
A few people filtering in.
Yeah,
What's up, guys? Say what's up.
First episode of the year, might take a few minutes to get everybody in, but they're coming. But for all of you out there that's part of the Sports Bites family who have, been a part of this, liking the videos, commenting, giving us some good engagement, sharing this to your people, and most importantly, subscribing to us. Thank you guys so much for all of the Sports Bites love. We greatly appreciate it. And we hope you have a great time tonight with this episode. All right. Did I miss anything?
No, I think we got it. Got all the housekeeping done.
Shout out to Mr. Josh, too.
Oh, yeah.
We usually do it at the end, but we should start beginning and end because he kind of just...
Well, and I was hoping, I said something to him today. I was hoping that he would maybe do it in-house because I know we have a slew of snacks for the next few episodes.
He really does. He's missing out on
I'm telling you. But we do want to throw our special thanks out there to our man behind the scenes, Josh Richards, keeping us rocking and rolling, keeping us going. I mean, I know that man, he gets busier by the day. So the fact that he's always down to keep this podcast rolling.
Man of many talents.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Well, again, thank you, Josh. Let's rock and roll, man. We've got some stuff to delve into tonight. I know we got some tasty treats over there.
Oh, dude, yeah. We got to start off with some snacks. I got the good stuff.
I had a few weeks to think about this.
Oh, yeah. All right, so I've got...
I'm sure he's really thought about it.
I mean, I like to go into the store and just get
He did it earlier. He did it earlier today, most likely.
It was earlier today. I wanted to be fresh.
What?
All right,
Who puts a time on inspiration?
Yeah, I can walk in whenever I'm inspired by that day. So actually, Randy brought in one thing, and I got a few things. We'll do 3 or 4 snacks.
Yeah.
We'll go from there.
Let's go.
So let's start with these. These are Pringle Mingles.
Ready to mingle.
Dill pickle and ranch, hard pass.
Dill pickle and ranch flavor. Now they have a cheddar and a barbecue.
Those are average,
They look good to me.
That's different.
And I like how Pringles is getting I get they want to be shareable, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to pass the can around everybody. get their hand into it and touch every Pringle on the way back
And
up.
you never get them out clean.
Yeah.
You're gonna crunch them. They're gonna end up down. Yeah.
Pringle ready to make.
Okay. All right.
Got a dill pickle. Or
So I'll be
something.
interested to see what Pringles does with their alternative texture. Like this is like
I'm not sure about
Yeah.
pickle, but
It's like an air pop
Chip
kind of.
it kind of looks airy. Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
air pops. Air.
They look like packing peanuts.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Love that.
Pringle ready to mingle.
All right. Let's see what we got.
Okay. They're actually not. They're pretty. They're not
puffs?
light. I mean, they are, but they're not.
I don't like the texture.
Whew.
I don't know. What do you think?
Tastes good, but I don't like this.
The seasoning is very good.
Yeah.
Not
I
bad.
don't like the packing corn,
Yeah. I'm like.
but it tastes good.
Yeah, taste is good.
It reminds me of like a denser.
Say what's
cheese
up,
curd.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah. I'm not.
Should be more airy.
Yeah.
Oh, you want more air?
It's not that airy at all.
It says light, airy, crispy right on the front.
There we go.
Right, but it's not.
I can give it light, not airy though. Like
It's not that airy.
I like it though.
It's dense.
Brent's loving them. They're not bad.
Yeah.
at all.
I'm like. There's something out there I've had, and it's like I feel like the consistency is the exact same. I can't put my finger on it. Like, I feel like it was like, remember when Cheetos did like the Cheetos claws?
The paws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm getting out of it.
Okay. See, I'm not a huge fan of like poofy cheese foods, so I like them to be a little bit denser.
Right.
In fact, if they were crackers, that'd be even better. But
Not bad. Something
Pringle
good.
Bengals, okay. I like
Mingle
the
a little bit.
idea behind it.
For a guy who does not like pickles as much as I do not like pickles, the flavor was
Yeah.
really good.
So do
Flavor
They have
profile
that in
was
regular Pringles.
I think I saw cheese and barbecue. They might have regular.
I'd probably like them better in regular Pringles
Okay.
Not bad.
because I like the taste of them.
Not bad.
Well, Randy, do you want to introduce these ones?
So I will, yeah. So give a little backstory. So we took the family up to Buffalo for Christmas. And Rachel's grandfather lives in Buffalo. Hey, Lee, if you're watching, told us when they came into town for the Martinsville race, he was like, hey, when you guys come up for Christmas, you got to go by Gio's. I'm like, okay, what's Gio's? He's like, world famous barbecue.
Where's
So I'm
that
like,
again?
Gio's. Gio's is
No,
in,
where?
where it's in Pennsylvania. I have to look up the specific city. So when I hear world famous barbecue, it's the best barbecue around. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna go here. They're gonna have a big smoker in the back.
Color me skeptical for
barbecue
Pennsylvania
much
barbecue.
shit.
Yeah. So and I'm like,
I'm a little skeptical.
I'm expecting a barbecue.
right.
Like I'm expecting
Anything
to roll up
barbecue.
big pig on the top of the roof of this place.
Damn right.
I roll up. We see signs for it, like Gio's, big pig on the billboards and stuff. I'm like, all right, we're almost there. Like 5 miles, 3 miles. Next intersection. I'm like, here we go. We pull up. It's a fucking gas station.
Is it really?
It's a gas station. And I'm like,
Gas
and it's
station
not like
barbecue, baby.
it's not like oh, this is Gio's and the gas station's right here. No, it's like the whole thing is one building. Skepticism immediately as soon as we pull in. I'm like, what has Rachel's granddad got us going to?
That would make me think that it's actually good.
Dude,
Yeah, I was
like
gonna
a
say,
hole in the wall
those are the best ones.
so we roll in there and we get this. We each get a barbecue sandwich. I think I got some fried mushrooms too. The mushrooms really good.
You're a mushroom guy.
The barbecue sandwich, out of this world.
Okay.
Out of this world.
There's a hole in the wall.
Probably the best.
Are the best.
Probably the best barbecue I've ever had. It was, and like you guys were saying, Pennsylvania barbecue. But while I was in there, they had a whole line of these hand cooked kettle chips, and I was like,
Okay. I
Let's
do
see
like
what
a
we
good.
got.
I do like a good kettle.
they
chip.
had a couple
kettle
wild
was
ones, but
bad.
I was like, when you're trying an off-brand that you've never heard of before, go with something you know, so we can have something to
And
kind of
that's
compare.
probably the
it for.
seasoning they put on the barbecue that they're making at the
Dude,
place.
they have
Maybe.
different barbecues you can get, but the one that they had was maple. The one they were selling at the time was maple bourbon or something like that. And I was like, I
Oh, that
really
sounds
don't
good.
dig on or maple. I'm like, love bourbon, but I don't dig
Maple
on
bourbon,
maple.
that sounds
And
so
so I didn't get the barbecue sauce, but I got the chips from there. And I will say, any of you out there that do end up going through Pennsylvania, look them up.
yo.
Gio's Barbecue. Absolutely phenomenal barbecue.
Middleburg, Pennsylvania.
Middleburg, Pennsylvania.
You guys are on. Say what's up.
Let's see what we got here. And luckily, it was the perfect time because I had driven the whole way, and right when we got the barbecue and went to leave, Rachel was like, "All right, I'll drive from here," and I was like, "Cool, I can sit in the passenger seat and eat barbecue sandwich."
Dude, those are banging. Those are good. You know what they remind me of? Grandma Utz with seasoning. You know the Grandma Utz that come in the brown bag? With a little bit less oil flavor. The chip is crispy. The seasoning's very good.
I love the flavor.
The seasoning's banging.
Just tastes like a regular chip. Though. It's not like kettle.
It's almost the perfect amount. Like, it's not too heavy with flavor. You get the chip. Got a little sweetness to it.
Oh yeah.
I'm digging that.
Well, I was skeptical too, but those are actually pretty good. And I normally don't like barbecue chips. Like
Anything barbecue.
like a Lay's barbecue is dog shit because it's just it's just got it just tastes.
Well, those don't really
ketchup to me.
taste like barbecue.
They have a smoky flavor to them. I like them. I dig them.
Yeah. Now I'm kind of wishing I'd have bought some of the other ones.
No. We just gotta
They
go
have
back up
just-
there.
Notice just a little tiny smoke hit at the end of it.
Those are good. All right.
I'm digging it.
All right. So we got two more. All right. So
Moss.
this one, these are new, brand new. Hostess donuts, like the little powdered donuts.
Donuts.
Well, they made honey buns.
Yeah, I'm like, I saw them when you brought them in. And I was like, oh.
So you know, like vending machine honey buns is what we're talking about.
That is one of those things that if I see it in a vending machine, I have to talk myself into getting something.
I usually that or the big Texas cinnamon roll if I want something sweet.
Oh, that's the kryptonite
Okay.
for sure.
I remember you had to be quick to the vending machine at Hidden Valley to get the.
The big Texas cinnamon roll.
That's very quick.
And Surge, you know, he ran out. I love it.
Oh,
it,
man,
smells,
Surge.
it smells just like a honey bun out of the package.
Oh man.
Okay.
And I like how they
One
ice them
done.
so they're not sticky when you
Yeah.
grab them.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Only one. On point.
I like them sticky.
I like them both ways, but that's delicious. Oh my God.
Yeah, I can only have one. That's too
I
dangerous.
demolished a whole fucking. I demolished that and not feel bad about it at all.
Oh, you feel bad.
It's got a sweet vanilla
Yeah,
glaze
your
with a
stomach
hint
might
of
feel
cinnamon
bad.
flavor.
Oh yeah,
It's still got a good honey flavor too. These are,
that's on point.
I can
Oh,
really
man.
appreciate the icing on the outside, so it makes it easy to eat. Because powdered donuts get all over you. Sometimes the other ones,
Yeah.
and the cake ones kind of clump together. These ones keep your hands nice and clean. That's not bad.
Oh.
You want them?
No, one and done.
Okay, those might be a little dangerous.
Good call on that
Real
one.
dangerous.
Yeah, no. Yeah. So we got
Finale.
one more, and this one is like, I guess maybe seasonal because we're gonna have the Girl Scouts out soon selling cookies. It's like in the springtime.
Yeah.
So what I got here,
Oh gosh.
I don't forget, I brought some spoons.
Oh snap.
Look at
These
them.
are
Look at
Jello Girl
Got
Scout
nine in here now.
coconut caramel. So it's like a Samoa cookie.
I said, where's this Terry jersey?
Hey Josh, I can show you the tracking information, but I can't make them bring it to me any faster, bro. I promise you, I do have it coming. Matter of fact,
Waiting for my Barkley too, bro. We'll be here hopefully next few days.
I'll show Donnie right now.
You got to send it to him too, though.
Well, I promise you this, Josh. When it does get here, the day that I get it in hand, I'm overnighting at UPS to your address. That I can promise you. Overnight delivery
And
right then and
that's
there.
a SportsBites promise.
Yes, that is a sports
Hopefully
bite.
they'll have it before the Detroit
I am
game.
not gonna like those.
All right, let's
Okay,
see.
so it comes in like
Yeah, you can tell them right there. This was January 10th. I got the tracking information right there.
Okay, I say I'm trying to get it separated like Robert did.
Yes,
but
sir.
there it is. So it comes in like you got your pudding side, and then you got your topping side over here. It looks like it's got like coconut, pecans, little chocolate pieces, and you got to kind of mix them together.
I guess this is pudding.
Is it? I haven't had a Jello cup in God knows how long.
Whoa.
But remember, like
Coconut caramel.
Do you remember back in the day when they first came out with like the yogurt cups with a little bit of
Oh, boy.
granola, or like or the M&Ms? Remember the Trix yogurt and all that good stuff?
Oh yeah.
Here we go. Gonna give it a little mix.
Why do we have to deconstruct everything and turn it into something else? Why can't they just? Why can't it
Sell it
just
to me?
Why
I'm
can't
excited about Girl Scout
just
cookies.
be
Damn.
Girl Scout cookies?
All right,
Dude,
let's
Just give me a Girl
Is this
Scout
gonna
cookie.
taste like one of those what? Caramel,
But maybe you're just craving the flavor.
caramel delights. Is that what it's supposed to be?
The Samoa cookies.
Maybe you're just craving the flavor. So let's construct this Jello.
It's actually really good. Gotta like caramel. Got a strong caramel taste. I
Okay.
think that's solid.
The pudding is very caramelly.
Well,
Yeah, man. I was stoked Washington won too.
Doesn't
That was-
taste like
that
a
was
cookie
hell of
at
a
all.
game.
I'm getting the chewy part.
doesn't taste like a Girl Scout cookie at all. That's what I'm saying. Just
But the
give me a
caramel pudding-
Girl Scout cookie.
No, it doesn't. But it
I like
tastes really
these
good.
Girl Scout cookies, and this is awful.
I gotta agree with Robert. They're gonna,
What are we
second bite
doing
is probably my
here?
last.
What are we doing here? I can look at this
It's not bad. But
and
yeah,
tell
it
that this was like as soon as I opened it, I was like, why are we
tastes more
doing
like
this
the
with the
caramel
Girl Scout
delights to me,
cookies?
though. It had the caramel delights with the chocolate.
Who looks at a Girl
I'm talking
Scout
about
cookie
it.
and says, let's
It tastes
let's
more like
make
that.
let's turn this into
It's
Jello.
not that.
Jello. A Jello
Yeah,
company.
because the coconut caramel is supposed to be the delights, right?
So
We try to be adventurous here. Like,
yeah, but this is
pretty
this,
good.
this is the thing.
How do you like
I
it?
told Brent before we started. I'm like, I'm open to try
I get
everything.
what you
I don't I
say.
hate pickles. I'm down to try it. I like those. I do not like coconut. Not the flavor, but the texture. That coconut at the very end of that, what couple of points it may have gotten was gone when I hit that
I
coconut.
can barely
That was
taste
like,
the coconut.
that was all I could taste at the very end of it.
I hate coconut. That was good.
well,
Okay, hey,
that's why we try,
Yeah,
right?
it's not new, man.
Wash that down.
Wash it down with the honey bun. Wash it down like
Did they
Ghost,
do any other Girl Scout cookies?
Ghost sour
Thin
cream
Mints,
apple.
I could see being okay because it's just
had Thin
chocolate
Mints.
pudding with
they
some
had
mint.
mints.
Why would you not get those?
I don't know. I thought
What
that would be
into
more
your
fun.
pie later, Josh?
Because I'm the director of snack content and I call the snacks around here, baby.
I mean, they do.
I would. Honestly,
I should have trusted the chocolate pudding.
honestly, I don't. After that, I don't want to try the Thin Mints either. I just give me some fucking Thin Mints. I like the Thin Mint cookies. I
Well,
don't.
wait until the girls are standing out in front of Walmart in springtime, and you can get as many as you want.
Because all that Jello is going to be chocolate pudding with mint flavoring.
It's a mint
right.
munchies. Yeah.
Those are good.
Josh, I'm with you on that one, man. And
Yeah, that was a hell of a game. I can't wait to talk about it.
y'all put it together at the end when it counted.
Guy's just a freak. I mean, can't
Although
say he's not.
I do have a fucking bone to pick with your fucking Washington team here in just a little bit. Josh.
Oh,
Why?
All right, well. Now I feel like I've like whet my appetite. Now I'm like for the next 10 minutes, I feel like I'm gonna be like,
just like taking over all of it. Yeah.
all right, so
Dr. Boss. What do you do?
So we've missed a few weeks of sports. We have missed a few weeks of sports, holidays, family, like y'all said, snow, weather.
Did you have Notre Dame, Ohio State? Because I know you had Notre Dame. Did you have Ohio State as your other one? I know us two did, but I had Boise. You had Oregon? I thought you had them both.
I thought Notre Dame was
All right,
playing.
sorry.
Sorry, Randy,
You're
go ahead.
good. So not really going to hit a whole lot on the first round. It's done and gone. Like there were some cool games.
There were some duds.
Yeah.
Main-
But now we're here.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, just certainties.
We got the Natty coming up
Yeah.
next on Monday.
Yep. So let's roll through this
hella
second
good
round.
second round games.
Because
A lot
the
of good
second
ones.
round,
A lot of good ones.
The semifinals. The last, the ones this past week. All right, word.
so Ohio State rules Big L Texas. Do we ever figure out who the hell number 23 is?
No.
No, he's Ohio State.
The mystery man rolling in once again.
This might be Andrew. It might be Souter. He might have told me that was his. Maybe. Or just remain mysterious.
First things first.
You want to start with that game? I guess Ohio State.
Which one?
The Ohio State game.
Not much to talk about in that game. The Ohio State, man,
That's freaking blew it.
dude,
Blew it.
I felt like the score was much closer than the game really looked as you're watching the game. But Texas, Ohio State, I felt like they had it rolling the most way through that game. And the moment that Texas did have them in a clutch of like where it was like, this is our moment to do it, and they just choked.
That's probably one of the biggest choke jobs there.
Oh my God. 1 yard away from a tie game at the end.
Again, I remember Hershey was like, Ohio State's got the best epic red zone defense.
Yes, they did on the 1 yard line. It's dangerous.
Stuffed them.
They did a shotgun toss play.
And -7, and then that game really just came down to 2 plays. It came down to that right before the end of the first half.
Yep.
With that, Texas had just scored, and then the very next play or 2 plays later, you get Henderson going down the sideline on a screen for a touchdown right before
that
that.
was the-
And then at the end of the other half, like you were saying, get stuffed down there.
Mm-hmm.
They bow up, and then big play by Jack Sawyer, the scoop and the score.
Blick 6, man, that was.
You gotta give it to Texas though. They shut before that.
I was making an exaggerated statement going into this.
Yeah,
yes,
that was a hell of a game.
Texas did fight. They did fight. But
The Texas went earlier in the game. They had 4th and 1, I think, and they went for it on like the 40, 45 yard line. They put Arch Manning as one of the only plays they put him in. Why don't you do that at the end? QB sneak. Just try it. There was 1st and goal. Doesn't happen. You can do it again.
I think maybe it's just trying not to tip it because when he comes in there, like that's the only time they're
on
going
the
to bring
1 yard line, the shotgun toss play. You're pitching it 6 yards back. The running back has to run 6 yards to get 1
But you're
yard.
trusting that your line and your receivers are going to set your blocks for you. I mean,
terrible play.
But
I agree with you. I've never been a fan of adding
terrible.
5 yards to a 1 yard
QB
play
sneak,
by
I
going
feel like
shotgun.
there's no way you can.
But they don't run that play thinking, all right, this is going to lose 6 yards.
Yeah.
And if it works the way that they're planning and they score a touchdown, then it's like, oh, it's not. Like the results
feel
of
like
the
you're
play
feeding
were
into them,
awful.
though.
The results of the play were awful, but that's not what they're not planning to lose.
Yeah, I know.
But
I say it's great goal on D. They had it all year.
and Texas did play well. The Ohio State receiver Jeremiah Smith, is that his name?
They shut them down.
They only had 3 yard gains, so they came in with the game plan. So we're going to shut this guy down. We're going to make Will Howard have to throw the ball and beat us, and he was up to the task.
Not that screen at the end of the half. I feel like that's a different game.
That was
you can't
that was
give
just a
that
regular screen, but you can't give that up. But
That was the play of the game.
Ohio State they've just been looking mostly dominant. Sans this game, but you just tell they were right there. They were in it. They were making plays. You felt like they had the upper hand the whole time.
that was mainly that's kind
They
of
had
what
control of everything for the most part.
That's kind of what I was saying when we get it. It's not that they were blowing them out or anything, but I felt like they had, like you said, they had the majority control through the game, especially after the screen. Like from that moment on, you could tell momentum was huge going for them right after that.
I'll be interested to see what happens to Texas after this game because Ohio State's moved on. If I'm Quinn Ewers,
He's already gone. He said he's gone.
going to the draft.
Arch is playing next year.
So he's going to draft or he transferred?
No,
He's transferring.
Oh, he
I
did.
thought he said he's going to the draft.
I thought he was transferring.
He
but
said, "Are you going to
whatever.
be playing college football next year?" He said, "No." That was an interview, though. He could change his mind.
I mean,
it'd be
he could
interesting
pull
to see.
Carson back. He'll make more money. He'll make more money in college than he will in the NFL to ride the bench,
Right.
most likely.
Right.
Well, and so let's talk about this Georgia team. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this Notre Dame Georgia game.
Yeah.
That was the second round, right?
Yeah, I think Notre Dame just kind of did what I thought they were going to do. They're just going to be physical up front. They don't have star wide receivers. They got a great defense, a running quarterback, a good offensive line, and a good running back.
Yep.
And it's a punch you in the mouth style, which we're used to seeing Georgia being very very able to stand up, but they've kind of haven't been the Georgia of old. Maybe I'm not saying they're bad by any means, but just not the team you would think you could be able to run the ball on. And they just, it's not the Notre Dame team we're used to seeing. They've been always like a finesse kind of, they have the smash mouth kind of team.
Carson Beck is not that good.
And plus, and Georgia
agree.
didn't.
I don't think he played, though, did he?
No, he was hurt.
But I just for them as a whole for their season, like
Yeah.
they were.
And that's not necessarily to delve into the game a lot, because I know I said we weren't really going to. But the reason I said, I wanted to hit on the Notre Dame Georgia thing was because Notre Dame, to me, always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Like, they can be there all the way through every season, but when it comes to something big against a big team at the end, they always seem to drop the ball.
Yeah.
I know a ton of people who were like, Notre Dame is not making
They
it to
always showed
Georgia.
up like a T10 at the end of the year.
And
then, when it was like an SEC team they're playing, they would just get dominated.
But they smacked them in the mouth immediately. Like, as soon as the game started, they were like, no, we're not slowing down at all. We're coming out hard, and we're playing 4 quarters of hard knock football. And they did. And then they go to Penn State. Same thing. I'm like, that was a tough game, though. That was a tough fought game.
Should have went over.
That was a wild.
You don't throw the ball in the middle of the field 30
that
seconds.
last play by
Just throw it out of bounds.
Drew Aller,
man.
Just throw it out of bounds. There's 3 guys going to the left.
The thing is, Drew Aller is not bad. He's a good quarterback, but he was awful. And they have no wide receivers.
Yeah.
Their
They
wide
ha-
receivers had
it's
0
it's
catches the
how
whole game.
how can they have no wide receivers on that team?
It's crazy.
It's like
The receivers were nowhere close to open,
Yeah.
and if they were anywhere close, they couldn't catch it.
that's
That's
wild.
the kicker.
It's,
That's the kicker
just
there is
in
that
the-
they're not catching the ones coming
But
to them.
I think Aller, that play at the end, where they teach you that in Pee Wee ball, man. You
Just
can't
go to
throw weight
overtime.
across your
Yeah.
body into the middle of the field. You're just asking for a pick. I heard listen to somebody talk about it. They said maybe they had just said we've got 45 seconds. Let's just run it. Just take it to overtime. Because
It was
like you said,
it was
their
like
wide
35
receivers,
seconds.
their
They should've
passing
ran the
game
ball.
had been ass the whole game.
Yes.
Yeah, non-existent.
You never know. A big run could break open. They're looking for the pass. Big run breaks open.
but-
Maybe get in field goal range.
It was just
Bad.
they were right there, but it's just a couple big mistakes. And you thought in the first half of that game, Penn State was just dominating them up front. They were pushing them around. They were running the ball.
I even texted them that it looked like they really did have the flu. Notre Dame just looked
Flu game.
slow.
Yeah.
They looked like they were in quicksand.
And they come out the third quarter, first drive, go right down the field. Right.
But as slow as they were, Penn State was only up 10.
Yeah. Yeah, they were.
Haller was making a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, he was awful.
Well, and I'm like, these guys, you got to think also. I mean, these college football players are late teens, early 20s for every one of these teams.
No, there's some mid-20s guys.
I was saying with the
BYU
exception
team.
of one or two here and there, but I mean, these are kids. Like, they're gonna have a bad game here and there. The thing is you just try to minimize the bad games in the playoffs, because one bad game will cost you. And
Some of that's coaching too, though.
It is.
You're calling a shotgun pass with no timeouts, 35 seconds on your own side of the field. If you would have just called a run play, the quarterback cans the ball off. You can't blame it all on the quarterback all the time. It has to do with.
But you can't make dummy plays like that. That's a dumb play. That's a dummy play.
Yeah, he was. It was a bad decision.
With all the
I would've
criticism
never been
that
passing.
Franklin gets, though, if he ends up running the ball right there and then they lose in
shit on him.
overtime, everyone shits on him for not going for
Yep.
it, for
Yep.
trying to score there. So he's in a lose-lose situation there.
I feel you.
But now we're set.
Just want
We got the Natty coming up
Yeah, Mike.
on Monday.
the contenders,
I think
in.
Ohio State's defense is enough to really stifle
Yes.
Notre Dame to where they're not going to be able to do much.
We talked about the second round game with Georgia.
Definitely see that
How
happen.
about the Oregon Ohio State game where Ohio State just dominated from start to finish? They did dominate that game from first snap to the last snap of the game.
When they played last time?
offensively and
Yeah, when they just played.
Howard crapped on them the whole game, and their defense was stopping their key guys. The whole
Jeremiah
game.
Smith crapped on him the whole game.
Oh yeah, for sure. But Howard
But
was
I think
throwing
we
dimes.
didn't. Jeremiah Smith. Everyone needs to stop with this,
You could be in the league.
like overreaction of like
Even that's in your prime last
like
week,
right now everyone's Jeremiah Smith is the greatest wide receiver to ever play college football. He should be in the NFL right now. But earlier this year, everyone was saying the exact same thing about another young kid named Ryan Williams. But all of a sudden, Alabama's not here, so everyone just forgets about him.
Yep.
So
Exactly.
is Jeremiah Smith amazing? Yes, he's fucking good.
Electrifying.
He's as big as Julio.
A very rare air of elite athletes in college football that are 5-star recruits. Yeah.
Is it a little early to say that he's the greatest wide receiver in college football history and that he should be playing in the NFL already? Yes. I mean, last year, everyone was saying the same thing about Marvin Harrison. And is Marvin Harrison a good NFL quarterback? Yes. But, like, did he, like, make a huge statement this year that, like,
I was blown away, right?
No, nothing blown away. He was okay.
Yeah,
Right.
He might have a good game against Kent State or whoever is lined up across him on a big stage, but NFL quarterback will lock you down.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, who you got in the final, Donnie?
Well, I agreed with Robert from the get-go and said Ohio State. I had picked Boise to go all the way. That was a game we didn't really talk about. Jitchy just got shut down, and that was all there is to it.
Penn State had a game plan. They stuck to it. They shut down what Boise does best.
They ran inside zone 20 times. It was like the Michigan-Ohio State game. The reason Michigan won was because Ohio State ran right into the teeth of their defense, and that's what
To the
Boise State
defense of
did.
Boise State, that is Boise State's strength, while Ohio State's strength is not that. So Ohio State was going away from their strength, while Boise was trying to go to their strength,
Yeah,
at
I agree.
least.
I agree. They shut them down. But I think Ohio State just has the edge. They've been overall the best team. I think that Michigan game was just kind of a whatever, and they're back on track. And Ryan Day's obviously fighting for his job, and I think he'll keep it, and they'll probably win it all. I'll give it to him by 10, 31-21.
31-21.
I think Notre Dame will fight, but I would have really liked to see Ohio State, Penn State rematch. That would have been a better final to me, but Notre Dame deserves to be there.
Brent,
They
what do
won
you-
the game.
What do you got?
Well, I'm really hoping for like a meteor or something to hit the stadium because I really don't like either team.
You picked Notre Dame to go all the way. You were talking.
I don't like them
They
though,
were hyping them up.
but I am. Excuse me. Okay, if I'm picking just a money line winner, I would probably say Ohio State. But if key to the game, if Notre Dame can play their style of football, play good defense, running game, limited possessions, keep Ohio State off the field, Ryan Leonard is decent enough passing, and they get their running game going, they could maybe cover the 7.5.
Yeah, so
Yeah, but I just think there's too much talent on the offensive side
And defensive side.
and the defensive
they
side.
just got too
Like
many
Notre
athletes.
Dame is good, but they just have Ohio State has elite athletes.
yes.
And I just still think Notre Dame's going to be able to shut them down. They'll be able to contain them. I don't think they're going to get blown out. But somewhere in like a 30-17 type of deal. And I think Ohio State's going to control the game. But like I said, if they can keep them, if the game gets later and Ohio State's only sitting around 20 points, that plays right into Notre Dame's plan. So they've got to play lockdown defense and get that running game going. So
You got, what'd
know.
you
It
say,
can happen.
30-17 OSU?
30-17 Ohio State.
Like, the key to the game, keep Ohio State off the field. And they might be able to do that a little bit, but in order for it, I don't think that they're going to be able to stay on the field.
Right.
Oh, I think Ohio State's, I think it's going to be like 20-10, 27-10, something.
You got to think the quarterbacks Notre Dame has faced in the first round. Not a decent quarterback. Georgia, Carson Beck was out last game. Allard played like shit. They really haven't played a decent quarterback with a good pass game.
He's got that running game. His running
These
game.
cornerback's going to have to cover this
Yeah,
game.
that Notre
These
Dame
wide
defense,
receivers
that's their
aren't
one
Penn
hole.
State.
Yeah.
Their secondary is their hole, and I think Will Howard will exploit that. And they have a good running game too, so just
Yeah, great.
What I-
tops all that off.
I think between the two, and I'm with you. I'm not a fan of either one of those teams. I would rather see Notre Dame win than Ohio State.
I agree because I don't like Ryan Day.
That might be
Unfortunately,
10.
I would.
but unfortunately, I do think this game ends up being a blowout. I do think I've got Ohio State like 35-14 over Notre Dame, maybe 35-17. Ohio State, when they're on, they're on. And I mean,
We've seen it. We've seen it in these playoffs. And like, if they get out to a hot start and they score on their first few drives, you're done.
Tennessee is not a bad team.
Tennessee's
They
not
beat
bad.
the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Oregon hadn't lost all year, undefeated.
It beats
Beat the shit out of them.
but Georgia, who Notre Dame came in and started wiping the floor immediately, has not been the Georgia team you see of the last few years.
And Penn State didn't beat anybody all season.
Well, but I think that same Penn State defense kind of held them down a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
they'll take a
they
page
did.
out of that book.
That's what I'm
and I'm not
saying.
saying, and Notre Dame's got comparable athletes on their defense to Penn State. So it's just whether they execute.
Yeah.
And it's because the margin of error is so thin when you have that many weapons on offense. If you miss an assignment once, it's a touchdown.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
And I think that if it did remain close, if they managed to stick with it, if they were close within, we're talking 3 or 4 points going, halfway through the third, it becomes a one mistake game.
You don't even have
Make
to
a single mistake, it's done.
You don't even have to miss an assignment, and it still might be a touchdown.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm like, one bad blocking assignment that a dude gets pancaked and lets a running back go for.
But I don't think Notre Dame's scared of them. I think they're. I like.
No.
They're going to go in there and they're going to play their ass off.
Yeah,
I like the way
because-
that Freeman's been coaching them.
I do like Marcus Freeman. I don't like Notre Dame. I do like Marcus Freeman, and the team is good. I would not be surprised. I wouldn't totally be surprised if Notre Dame won. I just don't think they're going to.
Yeah, and I think that's. Other than Notre Dame fans, I think that most football fans probably share that same sentiment of like, could it go both ways? Absolutely. I mean, both teams have shown that they have a lot of talent and that they have a lot of ability. Looking at where both teams have come through this season and even through these playoffs, yeah, most likely Ohio State does kind of do some walking on Notre Dame, but it'll be interesting to see. We've got that. What's that? Monday night. Monday night national championship. It'll be a good one. I'll be tuning in for sure.
Awful night for a national championship.
Well, they want it standalone. They won't compete with the
and I
NFL.
don't.
They won't compete with the NFL.
I hear you. How about
What night is it?
Monday night.
having it the
We
week
got
of?
football Monday night all year. What's
But Friday night where people don't have to work the next day and can stay up and watch
Or
the game. And,
that? I don't mind. That I don't mind.
Or the following Saturday before the the championship games, the NFC and AFC
Yeah.
championship games. That'd be
agree.
one hell of a weekend.
golly, yeah, it would.
I agree.
This past weekend was pretty sweet though. 5 straight days of football.
Yeah, yeah, I enjoyed
That
it.
was a lot.
I enjoyed it. So
We had a great weekend of football.
let's move on to the other side of a great weekend of football. Let's talk about some of these NFL wild card weekend games. Started off with the Texans and Chargers.
That was a shock.
See, a lot of people that I've heard have been like, man, I can't believe it happened like that. And I'm like,
The dude distally sold Herbert twice.
I felt like when they came in, I'm like, the Texans they're a good team, man. Like if I'm not mistaken, they either lead the league or they're in the top 2 in sacks in the NFL.
Yeah,
like
but
their
their
defense,
offense-
They have a good defense, but their offense has
but
not
defense-
been good. And Stroud has been very sophomore slump. He has not been good.
defense wins championships.
The narrative around them coming in this game,
Not
they
against the
had
Chiefs.
kind of limped in a little bit, just kind of hopping on one leg.
They aren't playing Justin Herbert the rest of the way.
Well, and to be honest, like, yeah, this was their Super Bowl this
Right.
week because the road ends in Kansas City. for them.
No,
Yeah.
no, they're gonna win this weekend.
Who knows?
I think the road ends.
You can
The only
say what
thing
you. All right, I get what you're saying. Okay, yeah,
not
they
a
have a great
definite
defense
thing.
to stop Kansas City's like the offense that hasn't been that great. People just look over Kansas City's defense. Their defense
Yeah.
is dominant.
Yeah.
Their defense
They are.
is so good. You think
top
that
tier
Houston's
defense this
going to just all of a sudden wake up
No.
and be able to
You look at-
score on them in Kansas
No,
City?
that's
at the
being
shit.
hopeful.
You look at the shit play of their offense and Patrick Mahomes not playing on his level and all that, and you still look at their record. And I don't like wins, losses, people that want to be like, well, that quarterback's good because they've won all these games. And I'm like, no, I don't believe that because quarterback's one player on 22 guys on both sides of the ball.
Yep.
However, their defense is 11 guys. That's half the team, and their defense has kept them in this season.
Not that elite. I had them on my fantasy team most of the year. They're just okay.
Oh, because they don't create turnovers or score touchdowns, but they don't allow you to score.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, and I think that
Just like Patrick Mahomes, they're not a good fantasy defense, but they're one of the best defenses in the league.
and
They've been with him for years.
well, and I felt like at one point I did feel bad for Justin Herbert because his offensive line, man, they could not keep up with the Texans. And I'm like, and I mean, dude, they were fucking him up left and right, dude. And I mean, there at one point it was just like, dude, like you guys got like, I wish I could have been a fly on the helmet in a couple of those huddles because he had to be my guys. Like, did I make a joke that you guys didn't like earlier or something? Like, what the hell did I do?
You know
to you
what
guys?
changed?
Back in.
You know what changed the whole game? The whole momentum of the whole game was when the dirty bubble captured.
They were doing the SpongeBob, the Nickelodeon cast, and they got outscored massively.
And the dirty bubble just
picked up Harbaugh.
Just was like engulfed Harbaugh. They didn't score from that.
And they had the guys that did the voices. And actually, it's been SpongeBob guys.
The next play after that, I believe Herbert threw an interception.
Oh my God.
He threw 4.
One was off
He
Disley's
only
hands.
took 3 all year.
Now, I will
One was
say
off
this.
Disley's hands.
In his defense, 3 of those interceptions, I watched that game from beginning to end,
Right
and I
through
will
Mahomes'
say,
hands on one.
as far as the game itself was a wild and exciting game to watch. It was a wild game. There was a lot of craziness went on in that game. However, 3 of those interceptions were balls that there was zero excuse that ball did not get caught.
Every other offensive player,
but
like skill player besides J.K. Dobbins and Lad McConkey, they all need to hit the soup line.
Oh man,
They should have backed Keenan Allen.
I can tell you from experience with Dak, it doesn't matter. The interceptions are interceptions, they count against because the Dak threw a shitload of interceptions a couple of years ago, and half of them were ones that hit his players right in the hands and bounced up. But it doesn't matter. He gets shit on. He gets shit on.
Answer questions about all the picks, and
He's like, they're hitting my teammates right in the fucking hands. I don't know what you want me to do.
he could say, "Well, I hit him in the hand. What do you want me to do?"
You see, my receivers, except for Steve, garbage. So
I remember that.
And I agree with you. You're right. The stats are the stats, and that's how it rolls. And it is on his shoulder.
But you are right though. Like
and I mean,
there's only so much you can do.
In his defense, I'm like, fucking Lad McConkey did everything he could to keep them in that game.
He did it all.
He
Him and Brock
was
Bowers this
the
year, unbelievable.
man. I was shocked. Like he literally was like, no. If you don't have an open read, just throw it to me. And if you do have an open read, just throw it to me. Let me do this.
Well, that one touchdown was the little chance they had, and then the damn extra point gets blocked.
Yeah.
Return for 2, so that was a 4-point net touchdown right there. And then all the moments.
The catch he had over the middle in double coverage as he was getting tackled, pulled down by the one dude, and he just one leg shit on the dude and then went to the house. I was like, dude, that was electrifying, but that's probably the big play that they get this game. That's probably the only real big.
Like,
yeah,
I'll be looking forward to get the Chargers get some actual outside weapons. You put McConkey in the slot against against a linebacker or something, he's gonna be like an Edelman plus.
Quentin Johnson can take the top off, but I don't know. He's not great.
Yeah, he needs to take the top off a jar, stick him, and put it on his hand so he can catch the fucking ball.
I bet Keenan Allen regrets going to Chicago.
Yeah, of course he does.
Because that was one of their main guys, and imagine Keenan and McConkey and all the other guys. That would have been a different weapon set.
You at least have the option for some decoy plays and stuff like that.
And that was bad for Keenan's career,
I
too, going to
drafted Keenan in
Chicago.
the fantasy league. I don't give him, it's not his fault he had a bad year.
I know. It was the O-line and Caleb Williams.
Yeah. Because he played for the Bears. They suck.
I don't know why he wanted to go to the Bears.
It'll be interesting to see how that one plays out. Because like I said, the Texans, I mean, they dominated. Their defense showed why they were a top tier defense still. Like I don't know what the exact stat line is, but I know that they had a shit ton of sacks in that game.
They punished Herbert. They punished him.
It was bad by the end of it, but
well, they got what they wanted. They got a trip up to Arrowhead now.
A lot of it, just like last night, if you guys watched the LA game, they were sending an extra blitzer every time, but they weren't really showing it. The guy would be back here, 2-3 yards back. And then Verse would go in, somebody else would go in. And they would always have a free blitzer. That's what was happening in that game.
That's not going to work this week.
Always had an extra guy coming in. You don't know that. I mean, they can do film and then do something completely different.
I'm hopeful, but I think Houston might get fucking donkey punch this week.
I don't think so.
The only thing that I think Houston really has going for them in this game is just that they apply so much quarterback pressure. And this season, Patrick Mahomes has not looked good under pressure. No, he has
their
not
offensive
been.
line is suspect. But
Yeah, and he has, and even when he
like
rolls out,
their little
when he's out of the pocket and he's not relying on
matters.
When it's just him, his O line's out of the equation at that point, and I think. But
they're going to shock the
I
world.
love it.
Let's talk about what was another one that to me was not so shocking. Let's talk about the Ravens over the Steelers.
Yeah. Let's talk about it.
Dr. Mike, lead us off on this.
Okay. I mean, I think myself included, a lot of Ravens fans had a little anxiety going because I've said on this podcast before, regular season Ravens are awesome. They will get you on the hype train. You're like, this is the year.
The one.
And then they get into the playoffs and they get away from what they do and they shit the bed. Well, I think they heard that and they said, not only are we going to run the ball, we are going to fucking run the ball.
I think it is interesting, not to cut you off, but the conversation we had on the phone before the game.
What?
When I was at work and you called me that day. And it was like, when I was watching that game, I was like, dude, literally everything that we said was going to happen happened in that game. Almost to a T.
They were just killing them with the read option. I mean, they couldn't tell which guy was running.
Henry,
each time they ran that play.
There's not a better combination on a read option than Lamar and Derrick Henry because you can pick either one.
Team to shut them down.
Pick either one because that's what they try to do. They said, TJ, every time they run this read option stuff, I want you to tackle Derrick Henry. And that's why in that first quarter, you just saw Lamar getting the ball. Lamar getting the ball. And they said, well, shit, we got to stop Lamar running because he's killing us. When they start to stop him, it's like pick your poison.
Yep.
And they can be just efficient enough in the passing game. Lamar might not get
he's been the most
200 yards,
this year.
but he'll throw for 3 touchdowns, maybe only have 4 or 5 incompletions. And that is the script. And we have, in previous postseasons, we've gotten away from that. So going into this game, it's like division opponent.
The game itself led into you being able to do that, though. You never had to go outside of your plan.
Right. Yeah.
You weren't playing from behind. You weren't. Yeah. If you guys aren't playing from behind.
But our plan was the first drive of the game. We go 95 yards right down the field. But if we had gotten away from that, then do they press? Because Lamar's like, oh shit, it's the playoffs. We're in a close game. What do I do?
He's got King though. He's got King back there.
Yeah, but that's what. And I heard an interesting stat. Up in all of Lamar's playoff games, everyone he's played, his leading rusher up until last week, where Derrick Henry had 186 yards. His leading rusher was 66 yards by Justice Hill last year. He was getting no help from the running game. We weren't running the ball.
Yeah.
If I'm getting 186 from a running back, I'm damn sure going to do something else. We ran for 299 yards. We were over 300, but we took a couple kneel downs at the end of the game. So we ran for 300 yards. That is what we're going to do. Our defense has been playing their balls off since this last part of the year. I mean, I was nervous going into this week just because of Tomlin, and even though the Steelers have been playing like shit, they always play us tight. Up until this year, Lamar had only won 1 game against the Steelers. They had his number.
Right.
We punk them. We run them. We just kick their ass. I'm more nervous about this game than I am going to Buffalo. I think we're going to steamroll Buffalo just like we did the first time.
I just think that Derek opens up the pass game so much more, and he's been the most efficient passer in football in years past. Everyone talking shit about his passing game.
Who, Lamar?
Yeah, he's been.
Yeah, he's got.
This year, he's the most efficient passer in 32 teams, 32 quarterbacks in football.
He's got
the most
40
touchdowns, the best completion rating, everything.
Not bad for a running back, right? That's what he said. Not bad for a running back.
That's what I'm saying. He's not having to run as much this year, and Derek's taking some of that some of that away. So he's staying more healthy. He's not taking as much hits, and he's making.
Derek's running like he's 31 years old. He's running like he's 21 years old.
He said he spends $1 million a year on his nutrition and health. And I
Derrick
guarantee,
I believe
no one does that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's
I'm
just
sure
a
they're
freak.
even
He's
paid
just a
for it.
freak.
Shit.
He's just
I
a
don't know
freak
about
athlete.
nobody.
Yeah, I'm sure there's people that does it.
But
He's just a freak athlete, and
all that
keeps
aside,
his body very healthy.
it was the game over was at halftime. It was 21-0. We just kind of leaned on them the second half.
started scoring.
Just ran the ball. We didn't really need to. We didn't need to do anything else, really.
Yeah.
Just kept the pressure on.
Right, that's what I mean by the game plan.
Right,
So
and all jokes.
you
I don't
just
think we're
ran the
gonna.
ball.
I think we might steamroll Buffalo, but to give Buffalo credit, I do think they're good. I think their defense is better than what they were when we played them in Baltimore this year. So I think it'll be a good game. I don't think it'll be 35-10.
See, I'll be honest with you. I think that next week, and we've got more to go before we get to next week. But I think next week the Ravens and the Bills. I think that it is a tale of two fucking Western gunslingers. I think you guys do get away from the run, but I think that Lamar shows how good he's been passing, and Josh Allen does the same. And I think that the two teams, I think it's a shootout. I really do. I think the Bills Ravens game is going to be.
It's your two presumptive MVPs. We don't know who's going to win. It's your two. I mean, they put it in the night slot on Sunday night. Everybody's going to be watching.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it. The Ravens actually opened up as an underdog in this game. They've jumped the fence and now they're a 1.5 point favorite. I think it's going to be close. It could. Let me rephrase. I think we're going to win. I think we'll cover the 1.5, but I'll give a little bit of credit to Buffalo just because it's good at Buffalo. So.
Well, to win, I hope you cover the 1.5 because that's.
I hope so too.
If you look back on any important game in the last few years, the main statistic for a win, time of possession. The Bills last week had 41 minutes out of a possible 60 time of possession. That was the main reason they got that game. You guys do the same, maybe not 41 minutes, but take over time of possession, keep them off the field. Then Allen has to rush to get
And
those
I would say
points back. That's the way to beat
our
them.
offense is much more dynamic.
Exactly.
I would say than the Bills.
Just nickel and dime, first down,
and I
and
think
the
our
big
defense
plays
is better
happen.
too. But
So,
I just think
as
better
far
team
as
by this much.
dynamic, this is the only thing that Ravens, the players, the fans, everyone needs to remember. The Bills right now have three really good running backs. They can and they do three very good different styles of play.
yeah, Josh Allen's one of them.
Josh Allen's number 4, realistically. You got Ty Johnson and
That
Ray
throw
Davis
that he made to Ty Johnson, and we'll talk about it. That throw he made to Ty Johnson, and he didn't want to start the Bills.
It was a prayer, but he got it.
That throw to Ty Johnson in the back of the end zone. I mean, that was an elite level
Dot.
throw.
Yes.
I was impressed
Well, he's
by
an
that.
elite level quarterback.
But you have, you look at the
He
other
is,
guys.
yeah.
You have Amari Cooper, who is still, like you said about Henry, dude. Is he playing like he's 21? No, but is he playing like a veteran receiver who still has some fight left in him? Most
He's not
definitely.
even 30 yet.
No, but that was the big talk for a long time about Amari. Was he's washed. He's just his career is he's at
Whoever
the
said
backside
that
of
don't know
it.
ball. Amar's
Well-
not washed. He's not what he used to be.
Huh?
He's not what he used to be.
His body does play old, but he's not old.
No.
But his body is starting to play old.
You got guys like Shakir.
Yeah,
Another
that's a good thing.
Shakir has
Keon.
been a monster receiver. You got Mac Hollins, who's played. You got the Dawson and the Dalton, and you got Keon. And I didn't realize this till that game we were watching, and before the game came on, they were doing some stats and stuff. So Keon was out, I think, 3 weeks this year for injury, rookie season. And Keon, you haven't really heard anything from him pretty much all season. Rachel had him on fantasy. She sat him most of the year. Keon still, as a rookie who still sat 3 games, had over 550 yards, 4 touchdowns on 29 catches or something like that.
Like 40.
Was it? Maybe I'm thinking 39. But it was still, those are really good stats for a guy who missed 3 weeks and is a rookie and you haven't heard anything about. He's a sleeper, dude. And was it the week prior in the end zone? The catch he made in the end zone, dude.
He's just a really good athlete.
I mean, dude, he's got the size. He's a receiver you have to watch out for, man, because he's the kind of guy that you sleep on because you're worried about everyone else. And then he goes and does some big shit. And then you're like, damn, where the fuck did he come from? I think that the Bills' offense is. I think the Ravens and the Bills are two very different offenses. I think they're in the same caliber. They're the same tier.
Just tough to say after that one game, but
I think your lines are going to play a huge key in this game. It's going to be whose line really does the protecting.
I will say the Ravens' offensive line, it was a shaky start. They've come along. We get that rookie right tackle, Rosengarten. He's coming along well. I
The
would
biggest change for y'all's team is your defense and moving Kyle Hamilton back. And not using him as much running in the run support.
That's because we had. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Our defensive turnaround has been.
That's the reason that I picked them to win the Super Bowl.
And in that game, the Bills and the Broncos came out hot. That first drive.
Oh yeah,
but
you thought they might be live. It was 7-0.
That team.
The thing was, it was one play, and they didn't let them do that for the rest of the game. And I told Rachel there was a couple things that the Broncos really shot themselves in the foot. Great play at the beginning, but everyone all of a sudden was like, dude, the Broncos are in this. They got this. They got this. And if you notice, it was one broken play. It was coverage let a man get just a step or two too far, and they paid for it. And for the rest of the game.
It was the opening script that they had set up that always seems to work, that for some reason you can't just script the whole game, I guess.
But for the rest of that game, they struggled, and that defense shut them down. The fake punt, I told Rachel, they got the fake punt off. I said, yep, here's the thing, though. They got a fake punt off that at the time was kind of an irrelevant fake punt. Yeah, you got it. You got the first down. That's awesome. But guess what? Once again, if you need that fake punt later on at some point to try to surprise them with something to keep a game close, they are not letting you do that shit for the rest of the game.
You had to. They knew. Sean Payton's smart. He knows. He knows that this game is going to get out of control. We have to steal possessions. We have to steal any way that we can, just like he did in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
which he can't do that. They mentioned it. That was perfect, and you're always. It's always. Available. It's like that's the second option. If you see this, then we're doing the fake. So they saw that, so they did the fake. Yeah, you're not going to see it the rest of the game, but you got to take advantage of that then, and then you have to take advantage of converting the fourth, which they didn't do.
I would say the fact that they punted,
so that made it irrelevant.
They punted 5 plays later.
Right.
Now you've not only given away that element of surprise, but you didn't even get no points off of it. Right. You've really put yourself in a hole at that point. And I agree with you. Sean Payton is a very smart coach. I'm like, he knows what he's doing. I just felt like I was like, that was one to me. If I'm a coach, and obviously I'm not yet till I start coaching these 8U kids. But no, that's what I might keep in my pocket a little bit longer.
I think they have to try to keep it. They have to try to keep it as close as they can for as long as they can.
You have to establish that you're going to fight. And when they said it, they did say a very, very perfectly worded thing is, no matter who the opponent, Sean Payton will convince his team that no matter who they are, that they are the better team and that they are going to be the ones
in this game.
Yeah. I mean, it's but the Bills. I mean, it was a good one after that. The Bills. I like watching the Bills offense play. They're electrifying. Like they really are. Let's talk about Eagles and Packers. Man.
I don't know.
So Jordan Love.
There's not much to say.
Does he have to give some of that money back?
I mean, Jordan Love was playing hurt. They were without Christian Watson.
They're going to be without Christian Watson forever because the guy can't stay healthy. So I don't even want to hear that. Wide receivers has been an issue on this team since Aaron Rodgers was there. That's the reason Aaron Rodgers left, and they still don't address it. They've got the same receivers they had when Aaron Rodgers left. It's the same thing. Yeah. So that's been an issue.
Well, by the end of the game, you had Romeo was down, Christian Watson was already out, Jordy Nelson walking through that door.
I was going to say a lot of guys, like Christian got hurt before the game in the Bears game, which he never should have been playing in to begin with, and then Dobbs and Reed got hurt during the game. So literally they didn't have any weapons.
They weren't doing anything before they got hurt either.
I didn't like the game. Our defense was the only part of the game that I liked in the first drive when Jalen had 7 seconds to throw the touchdown. But besides that, I mean, he went 2 quarters without a completion. You can't compete against the great teams and the elite teams with that.
Yeah,
You
better figure it out before you play Detroit, or they're gonna.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, you better
We
figure
got
it
to
out.
figure it out. What are you talking about? We
Dude,
got to
after
figure
the-
out before we play the Rams.
They were saying the last time the quarterback had 6.7 seconds, it was like Brady, like years and years ago. Like that's how good their O-line. You gotta take advantage of that. You're sitting here. I got all this time. I got this read, fourth read. I hit the. I would be doing that all game. And then you got Barkley, of course. Just exploit them. Like they weren't ready. McKinney was guarding Brown good the whole
anyone
game.
open to throw it to.
Yeah, McKinney was guarding Brown good the whole game. I'll give him that. And Brown was pouting, reading his book, whatever. They got the win. That's
Pouting?
what he'd be happy about. Okay, he could go off next game and he'd be plenty happy. He should be happy.
He'll be reading the
because we
book
won.
even if he goes off next game too. He reads a book every game.
They've never shown it.
I've seen footage this week of him reading a book in other games this year.
They did say the book that
It
he
just
was
looked like he
reading.
was pouting a little bit.
The book that he was but if they showed him 2 plays later joking and laughing and cutting up with everybody, but they said that the book
Jaden
that he
Daniels,
was
when
reading,
they won a playoff game, just kind of like gets up. Was he pouting after winning? It's just they're in a mode like they're locked into a game. They have like a certain they're not going to have certain facial expressions on their face when they're
he
locked
might
into
just be
football.
relaxed.
Like he's just exactly. Jaden Daniels didn't go like he just got up and was like, "Oh, there's just another. They just won a playoff game."
Yeah. Well, they said the book that he was reading. What is it? Something excellence.
I
It's a
can't
bestseller now on
remember.
Amazon.
It's a fucking bestseller.
Oh, I'm
It's
sure.
skyrocketing.
Sure.
Both newscasters reading the
Yeah.
freaking book in Philly.
I will say one downside of being a Philly fan is the stigma of being a Philly fan. I don't know if you guys saw the video of the piece of absolute
Oh yeah, I
fucking
saw that. And he was
garbage.
dogging this chick,
Dude.
calling her all kinds, and she didn't do anything wrong.
No, she didn't. And as a Philly
Yeah.
fan, I told Rachel, I was like, that is the shit
They
right
found
there
him
that
out.
gives us fucking a terrible name. And I was
Well, that was gonna be what moved me was that. So
have you heard what they
no, they found it to the husband.
I would just
or
not
the
let him come
fiance.
back.
If that were Casey and some guy called her a dumb, ugly cunt,
Dude.
and he's like, "What'd you say?" And he said it again. I'm going to have to kill you now.
Yeah, but see, that guy's reaction was the smart reaction
No,
because
and
if
then
that guy
I'm praising that guy.
if that guy goes off and starts getting into a fight, then
the
he
whole
isn't
crowd.
recording it. Someone else starts recording it, and then that guy becomes, oh, it's just another drunk who can't hold his beer.
Right.
And he gets kicked out of the game. Nothing happens, but he keeps his cool. Now that guy is.
Yeah,
No,
I saw.
he had much better restraint than I would have.
No,
because-
and I'm like, that's the one thing I'm thinking. I'm like, oh my god, like I'm getting activated. I'm not even there.
Right.
But so this guy, and the internet is undefeated. They found this guy out, and he works for some firm who praises like inclusivity and diversity and all this thing. And so like they found this guy, and they were like, the company had to tweet, "We are aware of a situation with one of our employees doing this thing. We do everything to make sure our employees strive for excellence," and blah blah, all this other bullshit.
Yeah, he's fired.
This guy's done.
Yeah.
So
And
what a
he's-
dirtbag! What a
and he is
dirtbag!
banned forever from Philadelphia Eagles football games.
Oh, Billy did.
Philly has
He
banned
deserves
him. They have banned him, and the Philadelphia Eagles apparently sent a massive gift package of Green Bay Packers gear to the girl
Yeah, that's classier.
as a sign of being like, hey,
That's
like
where the karma
that's a
diminishes.
terrible thing that happened. When I was watching it happen, I told Rachel, I said, if we got lucky enough to go see the Bills play the Eagles in the Super Bowl, I said it probably ain't gonna happen, but if we got lucky enough where that happened and we managed to go to that game and we're there and a dude does that, I was like, I want you to know you're watching the rest of the game by yourself because they're dragging me out of the fucking arena. I'm like,
catch a highlight, the world star.
like, I hope he brushed his teeth with like a really tasty toothpaste because he's gonna taste those fucking teeth going down his fucking throat.
Okay, all right.
Sorry.
No, I get it, but that was gonna be what moved me. But that's what moved me this week. This guy.
the positive notes on that game. Besides all that bullshit.
Besides this guy being a total asshole, the best part of that game was Saquon.
That's part.
He only said and not. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
But
Sorry, I had that. I was with you though. I was really fired up when I saw the video, especially as an Eagles fan. I'm like, God, I hate seeing that shit. But sorry, I had my rant. That was my rant. Sorry, I ruined your.
Ravens had it this year too.
Oh yeah, we did. We had that
Guy who walked up to a Commanders fan and knocked him out.
And then he got canceled too.
Yep.
Woo!
Well, let's talk about we got one more and then we got to jump into hey Casey.
Oh, it's Bryce.
Is it Bryce? Hey Bryce, what's up, man? So let's talk about this Commanders Buccaneers game. That was a pretty good game. Back and forth. Baker.
I wanted to see the Bucs again because we lost the last few years in the playoffs. But
Cleveland's got to be at least a little bit sore about the Baker thing. At this point,
they're so dysfunctional. Don't even get me started.
No, I've heard like
you played a good game.
I heard your Ohio buddies.
Yeah.
Talking about it, I was playing with Colby one day, and they were talking about it, like, no, he needed to go. I'm not upset. He wasn't working in Cleveland. Like they talked themselves into like, no, they're okay. Like they're okay with how everything went. They've talked themselves into it. At least they did. Like okay.
Well, I mean, listen, I love those guys to death, man. I love hanging out with them and seeing them and talking to them and all that. But I will say, if I was a Cleveland fan, there's no way I'm talking myself into being happy about that one.
Nah.
Like, let's see. I'm pretty sure Tampa's gone to the playoffs every time every year.
Well, hold on. To be fair on that, they are in the worst division in football.
Absolutely. However, you look at. I mean,
they've won the division with like 8-8, 9-8 seasons.
You look at his stat line.
Exactly.
You look at. I mean, shit. They beat us last year. Not that was.
beat us
They
this year.
beat you this year.
But I mean, in the playoffs.
They beat us 2 years in a row in the playoffs, and then this year. That's why I wanted to see him again because I wanted.
Yeah, but y'all going into the playoffs last
because I wanted
year
to. We didn't have a healthy team last year. We didn't have AJ or Devontae last
We
year.
were broken by the time the playoffs came around last year. We were a team without an identity.
Right.
Yeah,
but
no, I didn't. I was like the Steelers.
This game, the Commanders, man, they hung in
Commies
there.
were live, man. You're thinking rookie on the Jane Daniels on the road hasn't fared. Most rookies don't fare well. His resolve was probably the thing I took away from this game. Like he was good with the ball. He was running it. He wasn't making too many mistakes. Like
Relaxed.
I don't want to talk about Jaden running the ball because they could have given Brian Robinson just a little piece of that. Just a piece of that.
yeah.
It was just.
They have a lot of backs they mix in. Robinson's been fighting injuries a little bit, like as part of the parlay thing. They were just trying to mix it up and keep them guessing. And with Jaden running, Eckler running, Robinson running, and all their weapons on the outside, they kept them guessing. It was a really good defense too. Like they were pressuring him the whole game. They were getting through that line the whole game, but Daniels was just making those plays. And they showed the last 5 games, the last play from scrimmage, Washington has won each of the last 5 games. If you go back and look. Each of the last 5 games.
Commanders.
They beat us in the last second, game-winning field goal, a few other ones.
How about Chicago with the miracle Hail Mary
this
year?
That's not even mixed in. Yeah, miracle Hail Mary.
Cardiac commanders, they've been calling them.
My takeaway from the game was Todd Bowles struggling with left and right. You hear him in his interview. And that time he was explaining like, what do you? He was explaining, we're struggling with on the right side, the right side, the left side.
Their left,
like
my right.
their left, right, our right, left, their left, our right side, and we block it. He said left, right 10 times.
Really?
He was trying to figure out which side he meant. It was something. Those words were eating him up.
I did feel bad at one point during the game, though. It wasn't until after the game was over. But at the end, Zane Gonzalez comes in to kick the field goal. He comes in and he's like
brushing his hair
doing
12
his hair
times.
and
has
then he
OCD.
stops and I'm like sitting there. I'm like, damn, dude. I'm
He's
like,
nervous.
calm down. No one's gonna see your hair under the helmet. And then as soon as the
isn't even about
game's over,
nerves.
like within what I guess the next morning, I go on,
OCD
and
awareness.
it was Twitter and it was like Zane Gonzalez talks about his struggles with OCD and I'm like, wow, I feel absolutely
Like I saw
terrible
he
now.
takes his shoes off and like puts them back on like 3 times on the sideline.
I saw
Like
that.
yeah.
But when he can't, like, it was just the way he was doing it. I was like, the dude's got like super short hair. Is he worried that his hair's not gonna like look right? Like, what do you? I'm like, I felt bad, like super bad, because I'm like, you could see him like he'd get his helmet to his head and be like, no, wait, and I'm like, damn, dude. He hit the big one though.
I think the only 2 doinks of the year that have gone in is, of course, the Chiefs, and then
I guess if you're going to be SCD, kicker's probably the best.
God, yeah.
Saying where you got to kick.
I can't believe it's doink to win.
It's
in.
probably
Like,
the best position for someone OCD.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, just hit the ball right here.
Well, let's run through these 4 projections real quick. I want to hear what everybody's take on it. Give me scores. Texans, Chiefs. Robert, go.
Chiefs score. 24-6.
Okay, I can dig that. What you got, Brett?
I'll go Chiefs 23-20.
Chiefs 23-20.
I wasn't going to do that, but I literally was about to go 2017.
What you got, Don?
2017. I think it's going to stay tight.
You think
It's gonna be
2017
defensive bad.
Chiefs?
I don't think, dude, they're off 15-1. You just saw Darnold last night. If you go look back at their schedule, they played a lot of bad teams. They really only beat one good team, and they didn't have any of their offense.
Did you
that
just
game.
compare Darnold to Patrick Mahomes?
No, I'm comparing teams. The Chiefs.
Right, but you said when
Total
you look at
offense.
Darnold last night.
All right,
like,
Darnold in that offense, they've been stellar all year, 14-3. Chiefs haven't been stellar. Their defense has been stellar all year. I think Houston could exploit that, but
the difference there is Sam Darnold.
right. I still think Mahomes is going to struggle like he's been struggling, but they'll win by 3.
What'd you say it was? Sorry,
2017.
2017.
They'll win by 3. They'll eke it out because of a few pass interference calls at the end or something.
I've got Chiefs 17-7 over the Texans.
Crazy.
I hate
I
the
think
refs.
that the
They love-
Texans.
No, the hate for Kansas City.
Oh, I'm right there.
It will never be in my mind a PI call for the rest of my days until I'm 85 years old. It doesn't matter. It was a terrible
Yeah,
call.
I've got Chiefs
That's the way the
17-7.
life
goes
I think
on,
defense
man.
is really shine in this game, and I think that's where the game is going to make or break. Is going to be who breaks off the couple big plays on a defense when they're not prepared. And I think
I hope Houston
17-17
shits on 'em.
or 17-7 Chiefs. So let's go Commanders Lions. Don.
Commanders Lions. Oof.
It's just so tough.
What's the spread on that game? It's got to be. I don't have it right in front of me.
It's got, I would say Lions 5.5 at least.
They got Monty coming back. They're going to be fresh and healthy. I heard a few guys on defense might be back as well. It's just tough to pick against them. I think the Commanders will stay in it here and there. I'll pick like 30-20.
30-20
Lions.
Lions.
It's a 9.5 point spread.
For the Lions. God,
You
that's
got
a
a
big
10-point game.
That's a big number.
34-13.
Pick them by 10.
Lions.
Yeah.
Daniel-
I think I'm thinking 35-17.
Lions.
Yeah, Lions. I think they'll cover.
What if Daniels just comes out and just shows
I
his
just
shit, though, man?
don't. I don't think the Commanders have enough on defense to keep up.
I'm thinking 30-27 Washington.
Oh,
I think Washington. I think Washington.
You're just being hopeful now.
I think they stay in
They
it.
can exploit that
I think they
defense.
stay in it close until the third or fourth quarter, and that's the only way they do it. I don't think it's a blowout. I don't think that they lead for any majority of the game, but I think they keep it close enough where something big happens at the end. 30-27.
I think me and
Washington.
Robert is going. I think they're going to punk them.
Could be.
Remember they got Lattimore, too, at the end of the year.
Let's go.
Lattimore will be on St. Brown.
Ravens at Bills. Lead us off, Brent.
It's going to be closer than 35.
I'm thinking it's going to be. I think it'll be a close game. I want them to see. It very possibly could steamroll, but if he hadn't,
be a hostile environment.
I'm going to go 28-24.
That was my score.
Was it really?
Nice. 28-24 Ravens.
Okay.
Same.
They're on the same
28-24 Ravens.
I picked your score. And I picked his.
No. You picked it. I said y'all are on the same wavelength. No, I definitely think it's going to be a closer game. It'll be in Buffalo. I just think they'll have obviously a little bit more to play for. And I don't know, man. I'm not saying Allen's going to choke. The years that he's lost the games, it really wasn't his fault. He played good to the entire last second of the game.
It's been the defense.
I against good teams.
And we
this
hung
year.
and we hung
Against
35. We hung 35.
It
on
wasn't
them
just
early.
that game. The Rams and other games where those teams are scoring 40+ points. I just don't trust their defense as much as I trust a full Baltimore team and a full, offense and defense.
Y'all are all gonna fucking look at me like, dude, this guy's crazy.
32, 21. 32-21.
32-21.
Baltimore.
Okay. Y'all ready for this?
Yeah, let's hear it.
What did I say earlier? It's an old Wild West shootout. Josh Allen, Lamar, both MVP, the top two
It'll be
front
some
runners,
close game.
explosive offenses. Defenses have been exploited a few times this season. I think they're both playing really, really good ball right now. 42-33 Buffalo. I think this thing is a shootout.
42.
42.
I think it is a shootout. And the reason I think that score is so high,
40 all year.
the reason I think it's that high is because it's a shootout. Because I don't think Buffalo shut y'all down by any means. I think you guys
We
are
shut
going-
them down with our bad defense at the beginning of the year to 10 points.
I just think you keep Allen off the field with Henry and Lamar. You nickel and dime. You have 7-minute
and I
drives,
think
8-minute drives.
And I
Death
think
by
Buffalo
beat 'em.
and I think
how you
Buffalo
beat 'em.
keys and makes you guys throw the ball.
They're so dynamic. You can't. I hate that.
Throwing the ball-
Lamar's not a regular quarterback. He's not a regular running back.
Yeah, it's tough to stop.
You can play assignment football with a read option.
Yes.
And you can do whatever you want. They're both so elite at their position. That guy, whoever you put in there, is going to either miss or get stiff armed.
How did y'all lose in the playoffs last year? Because
we
not
did-
running the ball.
Because we didn't run. But look at our last game.
Yeah, we didn't
You
have
ran the
Derrick
ball in
Henry.
playoffs last year until you lost.
They didn't have
That
Derrick
was the
Henry
one
last
game
year.
you didn't. It doesn't matter.
you're
They
gonna
had
run.
great running
It's
backs
coming.
last
They're
year.
going to run. They're going to run.
We're going to run. We're not going to run for 86 yards on the first play like we did the first time we played Buffalo.
TJ Watt, arguably the best defensive end in NFL, had a Tony Snell stat line last week.
Goose egg. Did no tackles, no pressure,
Their O-line.
no sacks.
Their O-line was so...
And they are
Because every read option,
also-
he tackled somebody without the ball.
They also had an offense that was not helping them at all.
Well, they haven't helped
They
them all.
were on the field
They haven't
the whole
helped them.
game.
They haven't helped them all season.
I'm just sorry. He said 42. That's a slap in the face. We haven't given up over 20 in 7 weeks.
Against the Eagles. That was it.
Like I said, my mindset is two great offenses. You act like I'm taking something away from you guys. It's just a pick. But I think that both
You
teams...
picked an 11 or 9-point win.
11, I think.
No days in 33, right?
Oh,
Yeah, 33.
Sorry, 33.
But you're acting like I'm saying that you guys aren't good. I'm saying both teams are good.
No.
You're acting like
You
the
know
Bills.
what?
No. You're
taking
acting
the mantle
like
of discouragement right here. And you used to belong to Robert. Now you're on
your
here for
fucking
smirching.
denial is not just a
I'm not in denial.
You are.
Look at
You
the
are
scoreboard.
denying.
Look at
You
the score.
You are denying
What
that
of
Buffalo
the
is a good
smirching
offense.
You used to be the smircher. Now he's the besmircher.
Because I made one call against the Ravens, you are denying that Buffalo has a good offense. You are sitting
No,
there
I
talking
think they're
like
good.
they are. You are sitting
I
there
think
talking
they're
like they're
good.
dog shit, and that their defense has no chance of holding guys.
You are sounding like every SEC college football fan because somebody didn't pick your team to win. You're like,
No, I'm just
butthurt.
saying, no, the 42 just got me
Yeah, I like the
activated.
42.
That's a dog shit
That's
pick.
fine. And it might be.
like it.
And then maybe I'm stretching the void on this thing. But I want to see a big shootout game. And I think it could happen. I think that both defenses are exploitable. And I think y'all both have great offenses. This guy.
We'll see.
I'll tell
No,
you
I
right
just-
now.
we will
I'll tell
see.
you right now.
I felt like a slap.
You need to
You
go.
might as well.
You need to go to root for an SEC. You would fit right in.
We've got a little bit of time left. All right.
Pick my team.
No, I don't care.
You're a dummy. You're a fucking idiot. You're an idiot.
not
You
even the
can't
pick.
mean shit,
I expected
man.
him to hit Buffalo. He's got his red,
pick
white,
it.
and blue hat on. His white's a Buffalo.
You mean Atlanta Braves hat?
No, he didn't. Look at his Bills color.
Robert, you got fucking red, white, and blue on. What is your
That's
problem?
more. That's more big. You know,
I got red, white, blue underwear. You want me to pick that?
No,
All right. Eagles, Rams, go.
I still pick Baltimore, by the way.
Eagles, Rams, go.
That is going to be a tough game. Like I said, I'd rather have faced rather face the Buccaneers just to destroy them. I think the Rams have a very good team. They've shown it the last 10, 11 games of the year. They haven't lost many since Puka and Cooper were back, and Kyron's been fantastic. Their whole team. It's tough to pick against my guys. I'm gonna say 30-28. Last minute field goal. Philly wins.
From Smelliot, Jake Smelliot.
Hopefully it's within 30 yards.
I'll say it's a short one.
Yeah. I hope it's like extra point length.
That's gonna be a burner.
The Rams offense with all their people healthy again are
We beat
They're
the Rams with
That
a healthy
defense
team.
had me
though.
like that 9 sacks. You got to be concerned.
You're
about
not
that.
going to exploit Eagles O line like that.
Not to
Sorry.
9
You're
sacks,
not going
but you
to.
just see the way your boy Verse is
love
playing
it.
off the edge.
Fisk, all those guys.
Fitz Turner,
God,
like
they're
shout
so
out my
good.
boy cousin.
David Verse.
Like their defensive line's been playing
Yeah,
well.
I'll give it to
Like
them
they
all
can
day.
get got. They can get got, but
Stafford proved he was a
you were
playoff
just talking
quarterback.
about how Jalen Hurts has been indecisive in the pocket. If he sits back there too long, they'll sack his ass.
and
I agree.
And if they don't sack him, we're going to do what we've been doing a lot this season and just get hold call after hold call. That's one thing that you struggle with when when you have an offensive line that's really good that gives your guy the time. Inevitably, you get the hold calls. I mean, they're going to come. I think that the Rams, they have a super fucking awesome offense. Their defense is good. I think that last game we did look a little shaky, and I'm hoping that we shake that rust off. 28-24 LA. God, that hurts so bad to say that.
You picked Green Bay, or you bet on Green Bay too.
Well, I did that.
28. You pick,
That's
you
what he
pick
does.
Philly to lose.
I know. I did it last game.
That's what Randy does.
Yeah, that's my betting style. Like, I bet against the Eagles because I'm like, okay.
But that could easily happen, though. I can see
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Rams
yeah,
going.
You fade your
See the
favorite
Rams
team
win.
that way. If they win, great.
Exactly.
My bet lost, but great.
But I made some money off of it at least. I always look at it like this. I do that in the playoffs more than anything because I'm like, how much would I pay to see my team win?
I mean, I'd rather must have a team win than like a $90 payout or something
The
stupid.
payout was going to be $177 if Green Bay won. So I was like, that would lessen the sting of us losing to Green Bay a little bit. Not that much, but
I'm more hesitant after watching the first games and y'all's offense, but I'm going to stick with my picks before the playoffs started. So I'm going to go Eagles 24-20.
I think we beat the Rams with a full team 6 or 7 weeks ago. Beat them pretty good. Just like Baltimore against Buffalo.
Do you know the spread on that game?
I don't know the spread on that
Let
one.
me pull it out.
Don't have by much, but
It is 6.
6
Philly
for
minus 6.
just remember, as a full team with no one hurt this year, 14-0. 14-0. We haven't lost.
And I will say, our defense they are playing. Our secondary is playing like
Kenyon and Cooper have been
rookies.
have been unbelievable.
back-to-back homers on those picks. It was great rookie picks.
Jesus.
Jalen bringing up.
unbelievable.
I mean, we do have the defense,
Unbelievable.
but
Jalen Carter.
it's a great defense against great offense. I mean,
No Dean.
I think it's
I know.
No,
Oh,
Kobe
fucking that
Dean,
hurt.
but-
Give me
All those Georgia boys, though, I love them. Jordan Davis, Nolan Smith, all those guys.
Eagles 23-20.
23-20.
I think it's going to be close. I think that 6 is way too
It's
much.
going to be.
I would think I would take the if I was betting, I would take the Rams plus the points.
If I didn't pick like the bracket before the playoffs, I would probably pick the Rams, but I picked the Eagles to beat the Rams in my like beforehand.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stick with it, but
Fair enough. Well, we got a couple minutes left. Let's talk about what moves you. What moved you this
Well,
time off?
Well, I already told you what had moved me. I was going to bring up this Philly scumbag. But the second thing that actually moved me this week, it just happened just now, was the other Philly scumbag, Randy, across from me, saying that they were going to score 42 points.
Dude, he's not going to sleep on that for like the next.
Bull crap,
Josh
dude.
said he's going to throw 3 picks. Man hasn't thrown 3 picks
life goes on, man.
all year.
So, I'm playing.
Yeah, I know. We are.
I'm playing. But yeah, we already, that the real Philly scumbag,
If it makes you feel any better, my picks ain't exactly been on.
I
this
know.
year.
Just smile, Brent. I picked them to win the Super Bowl. So you should be happy.
I am. Well, if you picked him, I should be upset.
You
because
should
you're just
be.
as bad.
Yep. Not only picked them, I bet on them.
But in all honesty, we talked about it earlier. I hope that real Philly scumbag guess what's coming to him, whatever that is. What a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Screw you, dude. Like no one deserves, like, I get it, and ribbing people.
I don't.
And having and like talking a little bit of shit in the stand and let it go. But he made it really
Well, there's
personal.
a line.
He
I like
made
the
it really
care package
personal.
thing, though. Made up.
And like he definitely crossed the line. So
I agree.
F that dude. And I guess maybe go Birds this week because of him.
Battle of the Birds Super Bowl.
Robert, what about you? How about your anything holidays? Anything since we weren't here?
Last few weeks.
No.
Saw Gretzky's been back. He's been doing good, right?
Boise
What?
getting stomped like you told me they would.
I'm an idiot.
Ovechkin's, yeah.
Dallas looking for a new coach.
This was a cool stat. I guess this was with Ovechkin and scoring. He's almost broke Gretzky's record in the time period that Washington has won playoff series.
That's awesome.
He's scored like 890 some goals since the last time Washington won a playoff series
Good
or a
God,
playoff
Holy
game.
shit.
that's ridiculous.
He's the man.
Yeah.
He's still
Alex Ovechkin has scored like 890 some or 800 and some goal, 820, maybe it was 820 something.
playoff series or
Since the last time the Washington Commanders had won a
game? Oh,
playoff.
Commanders. I was like,
No, the Caps won a Stanley Cup. No, since the Commanders had won a playoff.
Okay.
okay.
No, it threw me off a little bit. Okay.
Washington's
Still a
hype right
crazy
now.
ass stat.
Washington's hype.
Don, what
Alright.
moved you?
Well, we kind of got sidetracked with the fan. We were talking about Philly earlier. I just can't overcome how good of a guy Saquon has been the whole year. I mean, given he broke all the records and everything, that was a class act move at the end
all
of the
of them.
game. No, he didn't, but he could have. It was a class act move at the end of the game to not go for that touchdown. I think that brings good karma. I think that
all
brings
the
good karma to the
Barkley
next game.
anytime touchdown bettors disagree.
Hey, he doesn't. He said no mas. He doesn't give a shit about that. He wants to win because he's not used to winning. He went 8 years with one playoff appearance, and they got one lucky win against Minnesota, who you saw sucks every year in the playoffs.
There are a lot of players that don't even get that one playoff. So, like, I don't
Exactly.
feel that bad for them. Like, oh, I'm
No.
sorry you were on a shitty team. You got one. There are players that
I don't
never
feel
even
bad.
see the
He's-
playoffs.
He's humble because he's there and he wants to win. He doesn't care about the stats. He cares about his team winning and whatever he has to do on the sideline, the locker room, on the field to do that. And he's been
He's a
class act
goddamn
guy,
saint.
class act guy all year. And the guy that was guarding A.J. Brown all game, Xavier McKinney, has been one of the best corners all year. Those are the two guys the Giants gave away this past year.
Yeah.
One of the best guys on defense, one of the best guys on offense. So thank you, Giants. Love you, Saquon.
Most definitely, most definitely. Well, for me, man, I had a lot going on in the time off. Like,
Oh, yeah, you had a lot.
Buffalo, saw Niagara Falls.
We weren't here last week because you missed
Yeah,
the plow, man.
like sitting here doing 12-hour shifts.
no plow, man.
Like a Homer said.
Yeah.
I missed the plow.
But no, I think the biggest thing moving me is just being back here, being back in the studio feels right. Being back in here,
Yeah, it is.
getting back into this. I know I've been asked by a couple guys at work, like, "Hey man, when y'all get back on, like, trying to go check out the podcast when's it come back on." It's
damn
just
snow
nice. It's just nice being in here. And just getting back in the swing of things. We got playoff football. We got national championships coming up.
Big weeks.
Like this is an exciting time for football fans.
Hockey's going on.
It's a little,
Okay, the playoffs
sad,
are in
but it's a little sad because football's like
When do the playoffs
almost
start
at the
hockey?
end.
It is.
April.
And I will say, actually,
still a long
if I had to pick one thing to say what
a long
moved
time.
me while we were gone, I will say, oh, golly. And I didn't really, I mean, I knew what I was getting into, but I did make my, I don't root for hockey teams. I don't get to watch a lot of hockey. While in Buffalo, I did announce
You to Buffalo?
Sabres?
I have decided
I'm sorry.
to join the Sabres Nation.
Well,
they have it.
why would you sign up for that?
Because honestly,
They're terrible.
They could go to
Because
the game,
honestly, not having a team that I truly root for and going up there and seeing what Buffalo is all about. They love their Sabres. Garbage or
Be
not.
a Bills fan. They love their
playoffs.
Bills more.
I'm already an Eagles
They just
fan.
like to go get like wasted. Of course, they love those Sabres games.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good game to go to if you're ever back up there too.
We were going to go when we were up there, and for the week that we were there, they played no home games.
Ah,
I was like, oh, that sucks. But no, it was nice.
Well, I'm telling you right now, it's not going to be nice from here on out for you as a hockey fan.
It's all right. I like their jerseys.
You signed up for a life of pain.
It's all right. I like their jerseys.
Okay. All
I
right.
can root for the rail yard dogs still.
No. Let's go, dogs.
Let's go, dogs. All right. Well, let's run through these snacks. I keep saying it. We got about 5 minutes. Let's run through these snacks real quick.
Let's do it. All right, we'll do them.
Jellos.
Yeah, the Jello was like a 2 for me.
That's a 2 for
I
you.
liked the topping. And it gave a nice chew. I got coconut. But that pudding was the flavor of that pudding was more like a butterscotch than it was a caramel,
Right.
and it did not sit right with me. So like, not excellent. I should have gotten the Thin Mints. The Thin Mints would have been infinitely better.
Sea scallop Lays level.
Oh,
They're a gooser for me.
dropping it.
0.
They're a gooser for me.
I don't think so.
What are
I don't
we-
like
The Jello.
The Jello.
I don't like coconut,
Oh,
and I
shit
don't.
was off. 1.
Yeah.
One.
So 1-0, 1-2. I'm gonna give it a 6.
Oh my god!
Because I actually enjoyed it.
The whole thing.
Did you still have a damn thing?
I like the caramel delights. I think it tasted just maybe not.
I
just
like the caramel delights
think
too.
it-
They're nothing like them.
I think it
That
tasted
pudding
a
was
little
an
bit.
abomination.
You know what
That
there
pudding
isn't
was
in
bad.
you know
I
what
like
there
the
isn't
Jell-O
in the
pudding,
caramel
though.
delights? This just nasty pudding. That's not in the caramel delights. There's not
seven. It's
shitty, disgusting pudding in my cookies.
Yes. They're trying to duplicate it. It's all right. I'll give it a 6. It's not the best score in the world.
What we
It's a
got
little
next?
bit better than mediocre.
Let's do these honey bun ones.
I'm not gonna eat one for
Yeah, I don't wanna
you
eat
because
it
I've
anymore.
munched like
I'm
4 or
taking these
5
back home to
yeah,
Bryce.
yeah, take those back home. 'Cause
I'm gonna give these a solid 8.5.
Yeah, like 8.5. I was
These
going
were
8.5 too.
really, these were really good.
Yep.
Only because, like I mentioned, the crusty outside makes them easy to eat.
Yep.
And they nailed the honey bun flavor.
Tastes just like
Yeah,
honey.
I'm 8.5
Just
as
like
well.
it.
I'm right there. with you.
8.5 on
8.5 all
those.
day on those.
Yeah. 8-7, just to not be in the same realm as you guys.
Those were banging. I could definitely eat a bag of those.
Yeah.
No
Yes.
problem.
No problem.
Loved it.
Randy, these are the Middleswarth chips you brought down from PA. And I'm normally not especially,
That's the shit.
I'm not a barbecue chip fan. I'm definitely not a Pennsylvania barbecue fan. So I was expecting for these to suck.
Well, what style barbecue was it? I know because there isn't Pennsylvania. What was it? Was
It was. If I had to put
Those are good.
I would say like a Memphis barbecue style.
Yeah.
It
anything
was
barbecue.
the barbecue was like it was sweet and smoky. It wasn't like a Carolina barbecue, and it wasn't like a Kansas City. So I'd have to say, yeah, like a Memphis barbecue, somewhere around there.
Okay.
You know what? Is what tastes the difference. It's got like a meaty taste. They use tallow, which is beef
Oh,
fat.
yeah.
They use beef fat to fry these.
Nice.
It's what gives it flavor. These are a 9 out of 10 for me.
9 out of 10.
I love these.
Nice.
I never like barbecue chips. It's
well,
the best one.
they don't taste like barbecue chips. That's why you like them.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
So what?
They were 7.
7?
Yeah.
I got 9-2.
9.2?
Close to
Like
perfect.
9 also or 9.2?
Like 9.2. Anything barbecue, it's hard to mess it up for me. I just got the taste, man.
As much as I griped about, most barbecue chips being overpowering, I'm going 8.7. The only reason these
Get
are
that
not
BB
over a
flavor.
9, the consistency of the kettle chip is amazing. Great crunch. I wish it had just a tiny bit more barbecue flavor, just a little bit more.
Okay, fair enough.
Not overpowering, just a little bit more.
Yeah, you see the
And-
chips a little light and not super coated. with
But
barbecue.
again, I would rather have them like this than have a chip that when you bite into it, it's so overpowering that you're like, I can only eat.
I
like
just
five
like-
of these.
I taste the when it says tallow. I taste the beef fat in the fry
Yep.
oil mixed with, and it just gives it like an extra
tastes-
kind of
it
meaty
tastes-
flavor.
it tastes really
Those are
good.
really banging.
Very good. Don't
last
pick.
Yeah, that's what there's a lot of salt. Most
Ton
of the
of salt.
flavoring is salt.
Pringle ready to mingle.
the Pringle Mingles. Dill pickle and ranch.
Really? Really?
I'm at a 6.5 on these.
Flavor, I'm at 8, but with the texture and everything, I'm good. Yeah, it's like a 5.
I think they really get the dill in there. It really does taste like a creamy pickle flavor,
Right. Yeah.
which I get.
Yep.
But yeah, the little bow tie things, the texture on them is
Not good.
It's like right in between where you think a crunchy and a poofy thing should be. But it's still good.
What do you got?
So six.
Give it 5.
6.5. 6.5.
For not
Pretty
being a
good.
pickle fan, I mean, it's all right. But like you said, it could be better in a few ways. Not bad, though. Like the taste.
You ever seen like those white cheddar cheese curls that are really kind of shrunk up? That's what those remind me of.
Well, like I said before, I'm like, I hate pickles. Like, I can't stand pickles.
You're insane.
Those are 9.5 for me.
9.5.
I would eat that whole bag
Dang.
and open another one right afterwards, all in one podcast if they were sitting right here, just bags on bag. Dude,
They had barbecue and cheddar and original, I think.
those are delicious. And it always goes back to what I'm always saying. It's always the things that I'm like, those ingredients are things that I don't like in real life, like in my normal everyday. And somehow that shit always ends up being something that
yeah.
I really enjoy.
These chips I would have looked, second glance.
Yeah. I think it's like you set the bar low when you see it, and you're like, that's good. And then all of a sudden, it's like, well, the bar was down here and it's up here, so it feels like it's up here.
Right.
But yeah, no, the Pringle Mingle, dill pickle and ranch, I'm all over those.
Let's go.
Yeah. So
Good snacks. this
Very
week,
good.
For the most part.
most definitely.
Very good.
Minus the pudding cups.
Yeah, it's all right.
That's why we do what we do.
Exactly. We're not just the sports
Just for
guys
you
over
guys.
here. We're trying to keep you guys from eating the rough stuff, like Donnie is right now.
It's been sitting out for an hour, bro.
All right. Well, that is about all the time we have for tonight. First episode back. This felt like a success tonight, guys. I
Feels
had
good.
a lot of fun. Yep.
Go Ravens.
Sorry for besmirching
Battle of
you,
the
Brent.
Birds.
It's okay. It's all right.
Anything could happen, honestly.
But I think the playoffs that we have coming up are going to be some electrifying games.
Oh,
I think that we've got some very
exploiting
games.
weaknesses, man.
Yep.
Exploiting weaknesses.
I think it's
Coaches.
You're seeing now the teams that are gonna compete to be complete. You need line, defensive line. You need your skill positions.
Queen rises to the top.
You need your OC and your DC to make good calls. You need your head coach to make good calls. You need a complete team
Yeah,
to
that's what
make
it
it
takes.
all the way. And I think we're starting to root out those teams that are up here but weren't quite here yet. And I think we've got a lot of electrifying football on hand still, and I can't wait for it. You guys, thanks for being here tonight.
No problem.
This was awesome. Had a lot of fun. And to all of you fans out there, thank you guys so much for being a part of this.
Thank you.
Thank you, Josh, our man behind the scenes, for keeping us rocking and rolling tonight.
I'll be on his podcast later on.
Right. Well, I meant Josh Richards.
Oh, sorry.
But thank you for Slipper House, our man Josh over here. And I promise you, Terry McLaurin, it is on its way. I promise you, Roz, if you're in here too. I just talked to him the other day. Both of y'all's jerseys are in the mail. They are on their way here. And Josh, when they do get here, I promise you, it's getting overnighted to your house.
It'll be too late.
Yeah. So please, just beat the Lions. That's all you got to do. If you want to wear it during the playoffs, just beat the Lions, and you'll be okay. Don, Brent, Robert, thank you guys so much. This was a lot of fun. And to all of you fans out there, thank you so much. Remember, keep hitting that like button. Keep hitting the subscribe if you're not a member, and share this thing, man. Like we keep telling people before we left for break, like keep hitting that share button. Share it to everybody you know, man. Get them on board. Let them join the SportsBites family. Get them on board. So thank you again so much for all the love and support, for the likes and the subscribers and all the comments and the engagement. We love you and we do this for you guys. Thank you again. And with that, we are SportsBites, your number one sports podcast, bringing you the best of both worlds.
Sports.
Snacked. Thank y'all so much. Have a great night. We love you.
Long as I wake up in the morning, I'ma get a bag. Get a bag, yeah, I'ma get a bag. Long as I wake up in the morning, I'ma get a bag. Get a bag, yeah.